Runick isn't degenerate enough for you? Then I present to you Corruptor Beatcop Mystic Mine. I'll go over what this deck tries to do first, and then I'll show you the cards. This deck tries to summon Gigantic Sprite. We can easily do this because we have the Runick Quick Play spells that summon a level 2 monster from the deck, and we have Blue Boy, a searchable level 2 monster. After we summon Gigantic Sprite, we use its effect to detach a material and summon a Nightmare Corruptor Eebly from the deck. Then we use Corruptor Eebly and the Gigantic Sprite to summon a Beatcop from the Underworld. This way Beatcop gains the effect that we can tribute a monster to target a face-up card on the field, place a counter on it, and whenever the card would be destroyed we can just remove the counter instead. Because we used Corruptor Eebly as link material, it then summons itself to our opponent's side of the field. This means that they cannot special summon anything except link monsters. Some decks just can't beat the Eebly lock already, so this just isn't FTK against some decks. Then we activate Mystic Mine while our opponent controls the Eebly that we gave them, and we control the Beatcop. Because we control the same amount of monsters, we can still use monster effects. Then we use Beatcop to tribute itself and place a counter on Mystic Mine. Whenever Mystic Mine would now be destroyed, we can just remove the counter instead. Also, our opponent controls a monster and we don't control any monsters, and you know what that means. Mystic Mine is alive, so we put them under Mystic Mine turn 1 and under Eebly lock, and we put a counter on Mystic Mine, so whenever it would be destroyed we can just remove the counter instead. Let's go over the cards real quick. We are playing 3 Blue Boy. This can add us, for example, Spellbook of Knowledge, and then we can draw deeper into the deck to easier find the mine. Then we are playing a Magician's Souls. This can also just send spells from our field to the graveyard to draw new cards, and it's a dark monster, so we can use it to summon Beatcop. This only gains its effect if we only use dark monsters for its summon. Then we are playing 2 Illusion of Chaos just to add the Magician's Souls and as a target to send for souls from the deck. 1 Eebly obviously, and a Mine package. We are playing 3 Mystic Mine as well as 3 Demise of the Land just in case we don't find the Mystic Mine, but it's really unlikely that we don't see it turn 1. Then we are playing a Terraforming and some Spellbook spells. 3 Spellbook of Secrets, this just is a rota for Spellbook spells. 1 Spellbook of Judgment. We don't really use the end phase summon effect, but we can still add resources with this, and it's really great to just outgrind your opponent this way. 1 Spellbook of Fate as banishing, then 1 Spellbook of the Master just to basically use any Spellbook card from your graveyard again. Then 3 Spellbook of Knowledge to draw deeper into the deck, and some Runick Quick Play spells. We're playing 3 Runick Destruction to pop a spell or trap on the field, 3 Freezing Curses, this can negate an effect monster's effect, and 3 Runick Tip, this can just get you any Runick card you need. And finally we are playing 3 Runick Flashing Fire. The nice thing about this is that it has going second tools, so unlike other Mystic Mine decks that really are hard going first builds with the Ojama lock, for example, that really doesn't do anything if you go second. This deck can go second and can just destroy a special summon monster your opponent controls, destroy a spell or trap your opponent controls, so you can play around anti-spell, negate an effect monster's effect. So this deck is actually a Mystic Mine that can decently go second. And then we are playing 2 Runick Fountain, just because it can draw us cards, basically. This can draw us up to 3 cards, and it's still a good card. So sometimes if we just want to go back and play normal Runicks, I'll say, we can just activate this over the Mystic Mine and then continue to play normal Runicks. And finally we are playing 3 Solemn Judgment and main deck, just to out any kind of removal that our opponent might have. In the extra deck we are playing 1 Gary. We don't really go into this because Yugioh is just so much better. Yugioh gets us the field spell. This isn't good, but it thins the deck by 1, and you can technically draw cards with the field spell, so I guess it's decent. But mostly we are using her because she's a level 2 monster and we can easier summon Gigantic Sprite with this. Then we are playing 1 Gigantic Sprite, obviously for the combo, I already explained it to you. Then a Beatcop from the Underworld, also very important for the combo, and just some generic link monsters. These don't really matter. You should play some dark link monsters just in case if you end up with more monsters than you thought. Like sometimes you end on a Blue Boy, a Souls, a Gigantic Sprite and an Eebly, and then you have to link off into a dark and into in the IP before making the Beatcop. Yeah, but that's about it. Like, just play some Dark Link monsters in the extra deck. And we are playing an OTK package with Selene and Access Code Talker, just to eventually OTK, because normal Mystic Mine can't do this, but our win con is OTKing. We don't have like a Cauldron in the main deck or something. We need to OTK at some point. In the side deck we are playing 3 Nibiru, just to stop our opponent, and they are not gonna expect this as well, because normal Mystic Mine can't run Nibiru, because you get a monster to your side of the field, then you can't really use your Mystic Mine anymore because you got the same amount of monsters. But we can just not play Mystic Mine if we wanted to, or we can just link it off into a dark monster, link with the dark monster into a Beatcop, and you see where this is going. We can just Beatcop effect tribute itself and put a token on Mystic Mine as well, so we don't really mind the Nibiru token. Then we are playing a Duster just in case we play against some monkey deck. 2 Field Barrier. Field Barrier it's a good card, don't get me wrong, but we are only playing this at 2 because you can't really activate Field Barrier first and then activate a field spell with Demise of the Land, because this stops all field spells from being activated once it's on the field. So Field Barrier isn't that great, but it's still protection for Mystic Mine. Then we are playing 3 Dark Ruler no more, just in case we go second. We got great tools to go second, but Dark Ruler no more is probably the best tool we could play to go second. Then we're playing 3 Skulls Oracle. Yeah, it's RIP to you if you play Underskulled against Mystic Mine, because it's not fun. But it's very good if you are the Mystic Mine player. This can look at the top 3 cards of our opponent's deck and stack them in any order, so we can always guarantee that they don't draw the out. So as long as we already have 1 protection with the Beatcop, as long as they don't have 2 removal pieces, we got this. As long as we got Skulled on the field, like, GG's, I guess. And we are playing 3 Dark Bribe, just in case if we're gonna wanna go even deeper into the going first Mystic Mine side of the deck. So we can just end on like 2 Dark Bribes, 1 Solemn Judgment, and Field Barrier plus Mystic Mine or something if we go first. Like, you can still just play normal going first Mystic Mine with this deck. If you want to play Monkey, play this deck if you want to. I'm now going to show you a replay of this deck in action.